I'm Maria Meindl, and I'm going to read a little bit from Outside the Box, which is a biography of my grandmother, Mona Gould. This is from a chapter called Dailiness. Mona's stuff took up so much space. I needed so many supplies, so many paper clips and file folders and photographic sleeves. I was always asking for more. The people who worked in the library were modest, understated. Everything about Mona, and by extension about me, seemed too much. Her saccharine prose embarrassed me. So did her extravagant punctuation and all that stuff. There were photographs by the hundreds, overexposed, underexposed, double exposed. Who were all these children? I'd never seen them before. And so many cats, squirrels, raccoons, and views of the back porch in every kind of weather. There were empty picture frames, dried-out wads of gum, open jars of Vaseline. There were chains of Christmas lights, broken glasses, seashells, half-eaten lollipops, ripped stockings. There were old TV guides, bills, never paid, ads for psychics and astrologers, fundraising materials for a home for retired donkeys to which Mona evidently donated money in the 1960s. Papers were shoved into envelopes, rolled, crumpled, folded, in no order at all. Things were stuck together with Band-Aids, masking tapes, and duct tape, layers and layers of it. Valuable papers emerged from the boxes in irredeemable clumps. I closed my eyes sometimes and tossed a bunch of them in the recycling bin. "Sorry, Mona, I just can't," I said aloud. At one point, I found an album of valuable correspondence with an empty colostomy bag adhering to the back. After consultation with a librarian, I was sent to see the conservator, who examined the album, picked at the bag's adhesive with his fingernail, and at length said gravely, "I think we'll just leave that." It was then I realized that the little round stickers Mona used for years to put things up on her walls and seal letters were supplies for the colostomy she had undergone in 1974. It was a very expensive method, given that the stickers cost nearly $100 a box, and Mona could barely pay her rent. I did not take the conservator's advice, but removed the covers of the scrapbook and put the contents in a file. Isolated in my carrel, I was ashamed of my need to talk to someone, anyone. I made transparent excuses for trips to the reference desk and lingered there long after my questions had been answered. In the washroom, I burst into confessions with women I had never met. One particularly sympathetic librarian seemed to meet me at the front of the sink at the same time every Friday afternoon. I wondered if I were unconsciously choosing her coffee breaks to relieve my bladder, or whether she made for the washroom whenever she saw me go in. I dreamed one night that when I got to the library there were pictures of me all over the walls. I ran around terribly embarrassed, pulling them down until I realized that the head librarian was the one responsible for displaying them in the first place, that the staff here enjoyed my flamboyance. Asleep, I reveled in their attention like a child at a birthday party. Awake, I continued to be ashamed. I wanted to know what to keep, what to throw away. I wanted to know how to do it. One day, I sat with a crumbling address book in my hands for what seemed an hour. Should it go into a file? An envelope? A photographic sleeve? Should it be kept at all? Finally, the burden of decision forced me out of the carrel. I went to the reference desk. "What should I do with this?" I asked. The librarian looked away, as if I had asked for instructions on how to perform the most intimate of tasks. "I'm sure you'll figure it out," she murmured. Another day, a librarian caught up with me in the hallway. "I just wanted to tell you, this is your collection," she said. "You're taking a meaningless pile of papers and creating a collection from them. When people 100 years from now want to know who Mona Gould was, they're going to find what you have made."